Hey guys, Zach here. I know it's called football. Let's get started. Arsenal 3, Aston Villa 1. Um, Another impressive performance. We started really, really strong, actually, like we did against Crystal Palace, of course. And in fact, we tend to start most games on the front foot. A lot of pressure, a lot of quick passing, a lot of movement up front. And, my reaction to the first goal, of course, first goal for Thomas Partey was basically just I almost was expecting actually that we would sort of sit back and maybe let Aston Villa come at us, but we did the complete opposite, and I think you have to um, you know commend the manager for doing that, and perhaps it's a matter of him learning from what happened against Crystal Palace. It was so clear to watch. I mean, going back to that game quickly, it was quite a boring game. In all honesty, with the exception of the equalizer and obviously the first goal from Aubameyang was a really really good goal, but the way we sat back and just defended and of course, they changed at halftime when Bukayo Saka came off and Sambi Lukonga was substituted on. Was a very defensive decision from the manager, and something I think a lot of people, and myself included, have criticized him for multiple times. Just being that, being a new manager, being such a young manager. I mean, again, we talk about this all the time. Really, no experience, not much. Um, Obviously his time under Pep Guardiola is all that he had. You have to say, and that wasn't managing the team, of course. As you are. As he does here at Arsenal, excuse me. So yeah, you have to say maybe it is. He always has a learning curve, I'm sure, as most managers do. But moreover, when you're managing a football club like Arsenal, the expectations are always high, and sitting in ninth place at the moment, and you have to remember we're sitting ninth place because we played the first game of the weekend. So I'm sure not a lot of fans are getting ahead of themselves, but it was a good performance. I have to say it was a good performance. The goal from Thomas Partey, of course, came from the corner. Sorry for I make that sound all the time. I'm trying to do better about it. The just I think maybe a few minutes before that he hit the post. And he'd done well actually to get up there, and was pretty unlucky to hit the top crossbar. Not much Emi Martinez would have done about that. Emi Martinez, of course, a player I will get onto. I'll speak about him a bit later on in the video. Of course, ex-Arsenal keeper. But yeah, the corner came in again, and obviously Thomas Partey, quite a tall guy, quite a big figure in that box, and can be an aerial threat. Obviously, he showed that he was, of course, maybe not known for his headers, more known for his long shots and scoring from outside the box, but he'll take that, and I would assume that's going to do really well for him in terms of confidence and moving forward. And he's seen the back of the net ripple now in an Arsenal jersey, so you have to say that would most likely help him in terms of scoring his next goal, and who knows when that next goal will come. But obviously Arsenal a bit dry when it comes to goals this season. Of course, we've put 3 past Aston Villa, we've put 3 past Tottenham Hotspur, but have conceded also a goal in each of those games, and you have to say both of those goals that we conceded, both against Spurs and Villa. I mean, the Villa one is a bit more forgiving. Not a whole lot you could do. The ball came off Leon Bailey and just sort of I think it's Jalen Ramsey. Forgive me if I got that wrong. I mean, it was a brilliant finish. You're not saving that. Ramsdale's not saving that. I mean, his feet are rooted in his spot. I mean, you can't dive. You'll never save a shot like that. It hit the top crossbar actually, right outside the 18-yard box. So fair play to him. It was a great goal, but it's really upsetting not to get a clean sheet, especially when you're already 3 goals up. Conceding a goal first. Let's say we would have conceded a goal and then we would have responded with 3. It's a much more acceptable outcome, I think, when you look at what you had to do to get 1 goal, then get the lead, then secure your lead by scoring 3. So the other way around, scoring 3 and then conceding 1, it hurts a bit more. Obviously, you want that clean sheet, and there was still about 15 minutes left to go in the game, I think. So, yeah, disappointing, man. Same thing with Tottenham. The goal that we conceded, it was really really good goal from Son, of course. Not much you could do about either of those goals, Ramsdale, but he's already done well. Obviously, we know the quality of Ramsdale, and I guess I'll just move on to talking about him now. Dude, his passing today was so good. I mean, this guy's brilliant. His passing, the way he gets the ball out, it's obvious why he's starting now over Bernd Leno. And again, I think I've touched on this before. In a previous video, I think I had a video discussing Ramsdale and Leno, who should be the number one after he had, I think it was his debut against West Brom when we won 6-0 in the Carabao Cup, or I think that's what it was, Carabao Cup game. You could see the quality right away, and Leno just doesn't offer it, man. He really, really doesn't offer this. I've touched on this again before. As a goalkeeper, I did play goalkeeper. Again at a very very low level. I mean, Division 3 in college in the United States. So, but when you talk about pressure and you can look in your player's eyes, and I was new. I never played football. I never played soccer until I moved back to the United States and came to college. So my feet, I was really no good with my feet. I tried out for a goalkeeping position because, I've said this before. I had a history of playing rugby. I got to use my hands, and I was looking for a sport to play. And my school didn't have football, didn't have rugby, so I took that up. And you can see, players, my teammates were a bit hesitant at times to give me the ball back, and I feel like a lot of that was with Leno, of course. I'm not comparing myself to a goalkeeper of the stature of Bernd Leno, but when it comes to defenders being comfortable and players being comfortable on the ball and having that extra option, I mean, I think you ask if you could get an honest answer out of every single one of those Arsenal players on the pitch. If you asked all 10 of them, they would say in terms of who they feel more comfortable with at the back in terms of passing, and if they needed to pass, I wouldn't have a doubt in my mind that all 10 of them would say Aaron Ramsdale for sure, and he shows that. Again, very very clear why Arteta and Edu had their eyes on him for so long. Of course, Sheffield United with that big price tag now is not certainly not a bargain. What we paid for him, but 35 million. I think now fans would probably be saying, okay, that's quite a fair price for him. Not England international, yeah, but he's not the first choice at England, and I think most likely might be third, at least at the Euros last summer. Certainly now, I say he'd probably be in there for contention for starting, and it would be great for him. I'm sure it would be. So again, yeah, Aaron Ramsdale for me. Brilliant performance today. That shot he made, that save he made from Buendia. I think we're only 1-0 up still. I believe it was in the first half. Perhaps it was in the second half. But it was a great save just with his foot. Really, really good save. And we all know, of course, what happens. A 2-0 lead. One of the most dangerous leads you can have in football. So fair play to Ramsdale. Everything he did was brilliant. And again, no chance he gets to save that shot from Ramsey. Now let's talk about Benjamin White and Gabriel. Both of them really solid today. I thought again Benjamin White, as I know he prefers to be called that now. His passing again was just another example of you can really see. I think when we have a game like the Crystal Palace game, a lot of fans, myself included, again we question what the direction that Mikel Arteta is taking this football club, and it's a very ambiguous one, I think, at times, especially when you have a performance like that and you're thinking, we as fans can see the changes that should have been made, and again, a lot of us are saying, Martinelli should have been the one to come on at halftime, not Lokonga, and that's nothing to say against him, but you wanted to keep that pressure and that attacking pressure going. But again, like I said at the start of the video, perhaps this is something that Arteta learned and said, let me try this, try something different. And I guess you have to say that this is one of those games. Of course, we won. Things always look better when you win a game. Things always look a bit more peachy. But you can see really what. Why he went out for Ben White. The passing is fantastic. A couple really, really good blocks from Benjamin White today. Gabriel the same. Really, really patient on the ball. His blocking, tackling, I thought he was really, really good at recovering, especially when Leon Bailey came on. Quick player. I know him, of course, from CONCACAF as a United States fan. So, there was a recovery in the second half that he made, of course, maybe 10 minutes after Bailey came on. And it was very, very patient. Wasn't overcommitting. Let Bailey, dribble, and I think he realized he wasn't going to get by him, and Bailey just turned around and passed the ball backwards, and that's what you want from your defenders. It's what you want. The player is running at you, and he has his back turned. You don't want to be giving away fouls, and I thought Gabriel did really, really well defending today, and that's just one example of a few that I could praise him for. Tomiyasu and Nuno Tavares. I thought Tomiyasu, again, really, really good game from him. Crystal Palace, not his best game. I think I said that in my last video, but today much, much better. Quick recovery, really good going forward as always. A couple dribbles. He always looked dangerous going forward. And the aerial duels that he wins, man, it really, really is impressive. The way he can get up and win a ball in the air, and quite a lot of composure on him as well. Tomiyasu when it comes to where he wants the ball to go. And one thing real quick, if I could just say this, it is a bit frustrating when I see Arsenal players when a ball's in the air and they just sort of head it just to get it out of pressure when there are multiple options open. Of course, watching a game, it's much easier to see and to say, you want this to happen or the ball should go here. Totally different perspective, of course, when you're playing on the pitch. But it is something that I think we could do better as a team. I think the Arsenal players maybe could look. But then again, you don't want people heading a ball into pressure, and of course I understand that. But I thought Tomiyasu did really well with his aerial duels, and just overall I thought he had a great game today. Nuno Tavares, again, another really, really good performance from him. Very impressive, man. I really was impressed by him. I think I've spoke about this before. When we signed him, a lot of the word around his reputation, was that he is good going forward, great with both feet, good at dribbling, knows how to beat defenders. Of course, a defender himself, that's a great quality. But raw, I think, was the word that was used to describe him, was that he was raw when it came to defending, and I thought he did well today. Kept it pretty quiet on that side, on his side of the pitch, and with Tierney out injured. It's certainly a better option than Kolasinac, I have to say, and no disrespect to Kolasinac, of course, but again, this plan, and you see these players and why Arteta has brought them in, and you can see like for like, the similarities between Tierney and Tavares. So yeah, I was impressed with him, I have to say that. Maybe he's a little too adventurous at times, because I think at a higher quality team, of course, if Tierney's out injured long term, that has to be the option that you have, is playing him there, of course. But against maybe a City, a Liverpool, Leicester City, of course, coming up next. It's all about recovery when you do lose the ball, or if you are going forward. And I think that's something that maybe Tierney, because he's more. More used to playing in that side, and his defenders are as well. We see that back three with Tomiyasu, Benjamin White, and Gabriel now when Tierney does go forward. So whether or not Arteta will like to play that way when Tavares is on the pitch or not, we'll have to wait and see. But look, I want to wrap this up here. I just want to say Thomas Partey, really good game from him to start in the midfield. I think, in my opinion, really chopped the ball and just sort of slurped everything up in the midfield today. Sambi Lokonga, I thought, not his best game. Still bright, but I think gave the ball away. Leon Bailey, a shot from him, and I thought it was funny. Aaron Ramsdale, such a interesting character. His reaction, he's on the ball like this and just kind of, had to be looking at Sambi like that, and of course when he was substituted, you saw one of the assistant coaches kind of arm around him, and it seemed like he was saying, "Look, you know what you did wrong. Better to probably just get the ball out of pressure." And I would assume at least that's what he said, and he knows that he probably shouldn't have done that. So, not the best game from him, but still was quite impressed by him. Saka. Emile Smith-Rowe, Lacazette, Aubameyang really terrorized that Aston Villa defense. They played a back three. Matty Cash and Target on the wings, I think, are players I personally like a lot. They're really good going forward. Defensively, of course, very sound as well. Quick players. And there seemed to be a lot of space. I thought Odegaard actually would have done well today, I think. if he had started a lot of space, of course, exactly what Odegaard likes. But the way Emil Smith Rowe runs at players, I think he does do that better than Odegaard does. So, and he did it plenty of times today, and they really, really terrorized players. That Aston Villa defense. And I do want to say for Lacazette, I think, in my opinion, he'd probably be my man of the match. Unfortunately, he came off. I'm not sure if it's a big injury or what it might be, but did ask to be changed actually. Kind of scuff that shot, and perhaps he felt it there. But that fire he brought, I mean, that's what you like to see. And again, I touched on this in my last video, touched on a lot of things in my last video. The fire that he has, of course, the contract situation, most likely not signing, and we'll probably find a new club in the summer. But you can see really the all that he gives his all, and he's been coming off on a sub. This is his first Premier League start, I think, in 6 months, I want to say. And it was just brilliant from him today. Hopefully he's not out injured, because whatever the system was today worked really, really well. And if that means Odegaard, of course, has to sit out, then so be it. I'm just wrapping up, guys. Obviously, Leicester City next. They did just get done shellacking Manchester United 4-2. So they're always a threat, regardless of whatever that outcome would have been. So that's going to be a really important game, of course. Leicester, unbeaten in the last 6 games, 4 wins, 2 draws. Draws against Brighton and Crystal Palace, of course. Things are looking all right. The Crystal Palace and Brighton games, of course, things we could have done better. Obviously, you always want to win games. Both of those games were winnable. I think Crystal Palace more our fault, and the Brighton game more maybe conditions and the way the team was set up. And of course, Crystal Palace game, we were quite lucky to get a point from that game. So, yeah, that's it for me, guys. I do really appreciate you watching. If you have, in fact, watched and made it this far, let me know any comments or anything you'd like to say. Share your opinions in the comments, or you can, of course, hit me up on Twitter. Twitter will be in my bio. Thanks very much, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you when I see you.